Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Frank and Gary show,
That's right.
F&G show, over a glass of wine. And today we have, what do we have? 19 Crimes. It's Cali Red. It's not a red blend, but it's Cali Red. We've had it before, but we wanted to do a video on it because it's really a good wine and it doesn't cost that much. And I was quite surprised. It's Snoop Dogg, ladies and gentlemen.
Snoop Doggy Dog.
Yeah, he knows all the words to those songs. And I think what I'm going to share with you now is there is a process to drinking wine. Well, I went to a winery down in Atlanta called Chateau Elan. I was just there for my anniversary. And we went to the winery, and the lady explained how you're supposed to drink wine. Now, I was not aware of this at all about their wines that they make at Chateau Elan.
I thought you just pour it in a bottle and drink it.
No.
I'm not a winery.
Yeah, that's the wrong way to
Or
drink
a
wine. That's the wrong way to drink wine. Well, I found out as we went through the tour that most wines that are mass produced are added sulfites in the wine as preservatives. And the sulfites and the histamines is what gives you headaches because they add them in to preserve the wine to stay on the shelf. Their wine, they do not add preservatives. What they do to their wine is what they do to their wine is to keep the sulfites down, they increase the alcohol content of the wine. And so that way you won't be getting the wine headaches from the sulfites. Now, the only sulfites that do occur in the winemaking process is the natural sulfites that wine automatically creates on its own that is not allergic, your body's not allergic to. When they add their extra sulfites in the wine that you buy from the store, the human body is allergic to it. And you have to figure out a way to get all that stuff out before you drink the wine. And so I was not aware of that. And so this winery, all their wines, they increase the sugar content or either the alcohol content to keep all that stuff out. So I never knew that the more alcohol is in wine, the less sulfites and histamines in it. So that's kind of interesting. So some of their wines were 15 to 16% alcohol. Is that a lot?
What is this one? This is 14.1.
But it has the added sulfites. That has sulfites and histamines, right?
Yeah.
So this one has a preservative, and this is what gives the people the headaches. So now drinking wine. Let's talk about that. Now, do you have any other questions about the winery while I'm talking?
Just waiting to drink it. That's all.
See, if you drink it too fast, the wine is kind of settling and aerating. There are 5 S's. 5 S's to wine drinking. Did you know? Want to guess what the first one is?
Just waiting to drink the wine.
So for white wine, if you're drinking white wine, you're supposed to put your...
Oh, you're talking about wine. That's about white people.
If you're drinking white wine, you're supposed to be able to put your hand up against the wine, and you're supposed to see your hand. If you cannot see your hand when you pour the wine in your glass, pour that bottle out immediately.
That's white wine.
White wine. If you cannot see your hand, pour it out. Now, of course, red wine, you're not going to see your hand, so that was only for white wine. Now, red wine, basically, you don't see your hand, but, I mean, if you do see your hand, you might have to pour that out, too. So, you're not supposed to see your hand in red wine, except if it was a real light colored type of wine. That's the first S. See. So, you have to see the wine. Most people thought you have to smell the wine first. No, you have to see the wine. You have to look at the wine. So after you see the wine, you smell the wine. You try to get the aromas and the smell out of it as you aerate it. And then the third C.
S.
Oh, S, yes. The S, so it was C.
See, smell.
Smell. And while you're drinking the wine, you have to swirl it throughout the entire time you're drinking. You never stop swirling it because the more you swirl, you're going to get the better taste out of the wine.
Now, not a knock on Parkinson's, but if you had Parkinson's, they were pretty good wine drinkers, wouldn't they?
I don't think the wine's going to stay in the glass. It may be all over the table, so you may have to have somebody swirl it for you. So is it 4? I think it's just 4. I think it may be 4. I said 5, but I think it's 4. So after you swirl, you smell, and then you sip. So you sip the wine. Now, when you sip the wine, you just don't take a gulp. You just sip it so you can get the nice flavors out of the wine. Because if you drink too much of it, you won't be able to get the real nice flavors. So you sip wine. So wine is always supposed to be sipped. So it's 4 processes of drinking wine. So you sip a little bit.
That's good. That's good.
And I think this is a good wine.
Mm-hmm. This is a good wine.
But because it has more sulfites and histamines added to it, being for preservative, I use the wand. Now, a lot of people say it may take away the taste, but, I don't know really. I use the wand to take out the sulfites and histamines so I don't get a headache. And you stir it around. He doesn't use these. I think you think they changed the taste of the wine, huh?
No, too much money.
Too much money. They are about $35, $40 a box.
And how many in the box?
You get 30 of them in a box. And you get 30 in a box. And if you drink wine every day, you could be buying these things every month. But I would advise you not to drink every day because you're going to be buying these quite a bit. So those are the things. Now, there's something else about wine. When you twirl it, look at it. You can't see this on his glass. When you twirl it, you look around the side and see how many legs are dripping down on the side. If you have a lot of legs, the more legs you have on your glass dripping down on the side, that means the wine is really good. And I think they said it's a little bit sweeter. So the more legs, the better the wine. If you get 1 or 2 legs, that's about cheap wine or no good wine. So the more legs on your glass is the better the wine is.
So we have to go back and reevaluate those other bottles that we drank.
Of course, right?
Now this bottle of 19 Crimes by Snoop Dogg, featuring Snoop Dogg, cost me I'll just say $14.39 for the bottle plus
before tax. Oh, before tax.
Yeah, because depending on where you at, the tax rate.
You get paid. You have to pay taxes.
So I said off the shelf is $14.39. That's how much this bottle was, and it is pretty good to me. I like it. What would you rate this bottle, Frank?
Oh, I'd give this one an 85.
85, ladies and gentlemen.
I give it an 85.
85, and I would give it an 85 as well. Let me see that.
Yeah, it's an 85. And it's
After he said 85, I'll give it a 90.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
That'd be a what? 87.5.
Yeah, I think so.
Average score of 87.5.
Now, any other bottles of wine that you might buy that's $15, they may not taste as good. I want to warn you. So be careful because we have done that. We've been there and done that, and absolutely. I couldn't drink them. He don't like pouring it out, and so it was pretty nasty going down.
So in closing, give them the 4 S's again, Frank.
See,
smell,
swirl, and sip on your wine.
That's right.
And keep swirling it the whole time you're drinking it, and you'll get the taste, the really fruity taste, or whatever kind of wine it is. You'll get the individual taste of your wine as you drink.
And check for legs.
Check for legs on your glass.
Right.
Yeah, check for legs on your glass as it drips. The more legs, the better the wine.
So you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. We started off just drinking wine.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're being educated.
Yeah, we're being educated.
So we bumping up the ladder of what are wine drinkers? Winoism.
Winoism? Now that's a new one. If y'all know the technical term, you tell us. He came up with winoism. I don't know what to come up with on that one.
So we're going to end this off with Snoop Dogg, 19 Crimes, $14.39 a bottle plus tax, and we ended this with combined average score of 87.9
And
8.5.
yes, and tell them the 5
And again,
processes
the
of
four
drinking. 5,
S's
4 S's
is sip. We got to see it.
You know, you see first. You got to
see.
back.
That's
Then
why
you
should've
swirl.
said, yeah,
See, swirl. See, swirl. Well, I just missed the other one. See, smell. See, swirl, smell, and sip.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry.
I couldn't remember it.
I didn't have any wine before I started this video.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you have learned something today. Pass the word on. Come back and smash up the likes and subscribes.
Yes.
Those who have subscribed already, we appreciate you. Need you to watch some more of these videos, though. We need more view time.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is the F&G show over a glass of wine.
Yes, and we are out. The F&G show.